Once again, we're back with Hear and Play Live. Thanks for tuning in. Man, I want to get into this band and see what exactly was taking place in that number that you all played. One of the things I noticed, I saw a whole lot of signs going up. Were you guys part of a gang? What's going on, fellas? First of all, let me introduce the keyboardist, Javad Day.
How you doing?
Yo.
We got on the bass guitar, Bryan Bdubb White.
Bdubb in the building.
Organist tonight, we have Ivan Hunter.
Yeah.
Man.
And the drummer we have tonight, of course, is Nick Smith.
Maximize
Here we go. Shameless plug for Nick, everybody.
Yeah, he's the human NPC. Yeah. So I saw some gang signs going up. What was going on, fellas? Explain that to me. What was taking place?
Well, when you're playing in a band situation,
Okay.
a lot of different churches now, or live shows, a lot of people got in-ears, which we're using today.
Okay.
But there are some situations where you might not have time to get to the mic. The mic might not be working, or you may have a situation like today where we don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we all play together and we kind of all know each other, I can give a number to Bryan. It's like the circle of fifths.
Oh, wow.
And he'll know to go from this note to get me to the next note because we play together so much. But, a lot of times when you're the band leader, it can come from Ivan, it can come from Nick, it can come from anywhere, and we just kind of like, okay, we need to make a tag real fast. Okay, so everybody go to the C. So that was just me saying C, just the letter.
I got
you. Know what I'm saying? But it would have been the 6.
So
but I don't have time to do that.
You're not from no neighborhood gang.
Nah, man, it's the Holy Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Aya! Ashabo, yes, sir.
So are the signs that you use, are they universal?
Yeah, they're universal. Circle fifths is everywhere. Everybody, if you playing rock, R&B, any genre, circle of fifths.
Gotcha. So what I was trying to just attach, to is that number one, there seems to be a nonverbal communication that's taking place, right? Mm-hmm. And music really is a language in and of itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even without words, if it didn't have words to it, which of course I recognize it, but to the viewers, how important is the communication aspect of being in the band? I mean, would that song be the same if there was beef between?
No. We could be, me and Ivan, a lot of times people, and then Ivan, I think you should touch on this too. I think a lot of times in band situations, the only place in the band where you can have people and they can go head to head and they have to really, really coexist, a lot of times it's bass and drums, but they're playing something different, but it's really the key seats.
Right.
So if I'm playing a chord, right, and like we were doing a C groove, right, if he don't play that, what I'm playing, and he decides to play this, it's completely different. So we have to really be in sync. Right. And it gets hard because you have musicians that are so talented, so many amazing musicians.
Amazing.
But sometimes where they lose the concept and where a lot of times you might find a musician that may be a little salty with other types of musicians that might not have the expertise that they feel they have. Sure. But it's because he can go play with somebody and not get in the way.
Gotcha.
So it's about what you're saying when you're playing. If we arguing, there's no conversation. And you have to be able to have a conversation. So with Ivan did some, we were doing that, the Bless song.
Right.
So that's the regular, and we were doing this, he went, right? I was like, oh, that's sweet. So the next time we both did it, so,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But if we doing,
Right.
whatever he does doesn't even matter.
Right.
Or whatever I'm doing doesn't matter. And then you got to remember, we also probably playing behind somebody that's singing. So if somebody's singing, I think that's a real big.
It's another component.
Yeah, they got to be. What'd you think, I?
That makes a good point because if we not on point, then that just throws the whole band off.
Right.
Pretty much, they can be locked, and if we're
it'll be a mess.
we'll be a mess.
Disaster 101.
A fool.
Right.
Because one of the things that I recall, playing growing up and learning how to play, was how to translate, right, what I was experiencing. Because it's almost like a fraternity, man.
Yeah.
Musicianship almost becomes a fraternity. I can see Javad from a way off, and it's it's like he's my brother, just because there's that commonality. But talk about that, like the team aspect, of coming together. Is there a feeling of brotherhood in?
Dub, what you think? Yeah. Talk to the people, Dub.
Talk to the people, doctor.
Come on, big brother.
I mean,
big brother Dub. Amen. Come on, Reverend.
Pay your tithes.
Yeah, if you pay your tithes.
Pay your tithes, you be all right.
You be all right. Maximize the 24.
There's a feeling of brotherhood.
That right there is a perfect example of there being a sense of brotherhood. Like, we joke around.
Yeah.
We can talk to each other about those kind of things. Like, up and coming musicians, younger cats. We talk about the musician stuff, but we talk about life stuff too. Like,
you have on my couch.
You out here working, you out here working, you making this money, but are you paying your tithes? Are you, you showing up on time? Are you, walking in integrity? Stuff like that. Right. So there is a, sense of my brother's keeper type of thing, in the sense of, dealing with each other and stuff like that.
Well, I personally, and that, I'll check on you.
Absolutely.
I'll check on you monthly to see how you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because we have a history. But then secretly, he would know that, one of the passions of mine is to be able to converse with him and not judge him.
Right.
Converse with, if I come across a conversation with Javad, it would be safe, with me. I'm not going to go, spread his business. So although communication, we know musically, right, we have to have it, I'm also interested in as a person, and I'm sure out in Hear and Play Live world, about personally developing, with communication. Absolutely. Does that translate, man, over to like regular life too? Because, or was it easier on the keys than it is in regular life?
I'd say one of the common misconceptions of musicians are that people who do music like to talk about music all the time.
Man.
And it's not the case.
Gotcha.
We actually are the opposite. We do music so much. When we, interact with people, we just want to have a regular conversation. Talk about what's going on in the world. Talk about some basketball. About life stuff.
Right.
Stuff like that.
So if you're going back to what Javad said initially, like that the language was universal. Show me what that would look like if you guys were not communicating. That same song.
But that's what would happen.
Right.
Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. I start the loop where y'all start.
But that's how it would happen.
Come on.
Right.
See?
Right.
But that's how it would happen. Like, if we're not communicating, you got...
If y'all follow me, if everybody follows where I'm going,
he ended the song.
It'll be fine.
Communicate.
It'll be fine.
He ended the song. He's at the vamp, and I went back to the other part.
So isn't that
that really happens? That's what's
chaos, right?
That happens,
right?